Remain distinguished, Golden Eagles. Still haven't decided if that's going to catch on or not, but we'll see. Mr. Holt back with reading lessons regarding text structure. Text structure is the way an author chooses to organize their information, typically in nonfiction, to help the reader better understand what they want them to understand. Last week we saw chronological order. If I was writing a nonfiction article about a person's life or about an event or a trip that occurred, if I was writing about the first voyage around the world, I would probably go in order. On this date, this occurred. On this date, this part happened. On this date, then this happened, or this happened within that person's life. So I'm using chronological order to organize my information. We also saw compare and contrast. If I wanted you to understand a few different things and how they're a little bit related, but how they're also different, if I wanted to explain both lions and tigers within my article, I might use compare and contrast. They're similar in these ways, but they're different in these ways. Today we're going to see cause and effect. Cause and effect is a pretty common text structure within nonfiction pieces about almost anything that's kind of scientific in nature or scientific in its in what it is. For example, if I wanted to teach you all about plants within a single article, I probably wouldn't give you just the definition and just a few examples. I would really want you to understand how plants work and what makes them plants. They start as a seed. They then need some things like water. They need sunlight. They need sunlight because they can then do photosynthesis. Or I would explain how it works and how a plant becomes a plant, not just give you the definition and a couple of examples of types. That wouldn't really help you become an expert. Or if I was writing an article about volcanoes, I, again, wouldn't just give you the definition and a few of the most popular volcanoes or some of the volcanoes around the world and their names. I would actually explain how volcanoes work. The magma comes up from underground and plate tectonics and all the rest of the pieces that go into how volcanoes work so that you actually understand them. I would use cause and effect, the how and the why, not just the definition of it. So almost any, or just many nonfiction articles do use cause and effect, and it's not always super obvious, but if they are giving you kind of what it is, here's a rainbow, or here's a volcano, or here's plants, here's kind of the definition, and then here's how they work, probably they are using cause and effect, even if it's not really obvious at first. It's just a good way to help a reader become an expert. I am going to read an article at this time that does use cause and effect, and at the end of reading it, I'll use a couple of sentences to say I know this article followed a cause and effect text structure because, and just kind of pointing out the obvious of how I know it was cause and effect. Tomorrow you'll read a short article, and at the bottom type a couple of sentences. I know this article followed cause and effect text structure because, and just give the reasons how you know. This is wild weather. March is filled with many different types of weather. Weather is the condition of the outside air. Tornadoes are one type of weather. Tornado winds can reach 300 miles per hour. That's as fast as some airplanes can fly. Keep reading for answers to some common questions about weather. The truth about weather. There is science behind every kind of weather. Uncover some interesting weather facts. Why do clouds sometimes look as if they are on the ground instead of in the sky? Sometimes clouds form near the ground. That is called fog. Both fog and clouds are made up of tiny drops of water that hang in the air. Fog forms over the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco, California. What is a blizzard? A blizzard is a winter storm with strong winds. The wind blows the snow so that it is hard to see. Most blizzards last at least 3 hours. That's kind of cause and effect. The cause is the wind blowing the snow, which just makes it difficult to see. We then call that a blizzard. That's the effect. Which comes first, thunder or lightning? Thunder and lightning happen at the same time. As lightning strikes, it heats the air around it. That causes the air to expand. Cause and effect. That causes the air to expand. When the air expands, we hear a loud crash that we call thunder. The sound reaches us after we have already seen the lightning. How does rain make a rainbow? Rainbows appear when sunlight passes through raindrops in the sky. As the light passes through, it is broken up into 7 colors: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. That's that refraction we saw in a science experiment we did earlier this year. The light passing through the water droplets gets bent or refracts, and then we see it. So that's the cause, is that refraction. The result, or the effect, is a rainbow. Cloud coverage. Clouds form when warm air rises and then cools. Cirrus clouds are white, wispy streaks high in the sky. Inside these clouds is ice. Cumulonimbus clouds are large thunderclouds. Thunderstorms and tornadoes can form in these clouds. Cumulus clouds are large and puffy. They usually form near the ground and rise to the sky. Stratus clouds are thick layers of clouds low in the sky. Light rain or snowfall can fall from these clouds. That's the end of the article. There was kind of a lot going on in that article, but many times, especially within some of those questions they asked about certain types of weather, they explained further about why the rainbow occurs, why a blizzard occurs, or kind of how a blizzard occurs. So that's the cause and effect. Again, most scientific principles, if I was writing them within an article and wanted you to become an expert, I'm probably going to include some cause and effect as a text structure, a way to organize it to help you better understand what I wanted you to. Tomorrow you'll read an article that is cause and effect, and then at the end, please just write a couple of sentences at the bottom of it in the spot that we leave for you to do so, just saying, I know this article used a cause and effect text structure because I learned about this, and the how, or they explained why that occurs. So it was the cause and the effect. Doesn't have to be fancy, just a couple of thoughts about how you know it followed that particular text structure. Take care, you guys. Keep up the hard work. See you later.